Okay, so it says we are live, so we'll give people a few minutes to join us. Notifications and everything.
All right.
But yeah, I'm actually going to be setting up stream time down in the basement. There's a section of the basement that's going to be turned into my little mini fish room. I get to have a mini fish room.
Super cool.
Yeah. But tanks are finally home and set up. Yay!
Oh, good. What size tanks did you get?
I had a 29 gallon and a 10 gallon. I still have to get over to Walmart and get my son his 10 gallon. I'm just going to get him one of those little starter kits where it's the tank, lid, and light, with the filter. May or may not have a heater with it, but, go to a local shop, get a cheap heater, not that bad.
Right.
But I had posted to a couple of the fish groups that I'm a part of on Facebook, and because I needed to replace a couple things. Well, one guy had a small box of plastic plants, a sponge filter that he pulled out of one of his sumps, so it's like a cycled filter, that he gave us for my daughter's 10 gallon.
Oh, okay.
So her tank is currently getting a jump start on its first cycle right now.
All right.
And then he also had a 45 gallon tank for me to take, which was awesome. It's officially the biggest tank I've ever had.
Well, that's super exciting.
Yeah, he said there's only one problem with it, and it's not a major problem, I don't think. The middle bracer of the top frame is broken. That little plastic bracer that runs in the middle.
Yeah, so that can actually be a major issue because that'll, with having that brace intact, it'll prevent the glass from bowing out. And if the glass blows out too much, it's going to stretch the silicone seals and it could potentially leak or completely bust open.
Okay, so no filling the 45 until I figure out how to fix the bracer.
Right. I wouldn't.
Unless I can, somehow convince my boyfriend to let me turn the 45 into like a reptile tank or something.
Oh, there you
go. Something that doesn't necessarily require that middle bracer.
Right.
But no, they're actually some pretty cute. I like the tanks, and I really need to get that second 10 gallon for my son so he can have his own. Because he really wants to have his own tank that's the same size as his sister. So,
what are you guys planning on stocking them with?
My daughter has decided that she wants to have a female betta because she's decided that the females don't get as much love as they should.
Okay.
Well, all the males get the love because of the fancy long fins, and the females get kind of brushed aside because they don't have the fancy fins. So
she
wants to have a female betta to show love for the females.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that at all.
Yeah. And then I wanted to fill my tank with a pair of angels and maybe some guppies for them to like chase around or whatever.
And
then my son wants to have a goldfish again.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's decided he wants to have a Ryukin goldfish again.
All right.
But yeah, it's fun. Like I said, I'm down in the basement right now, so I'm kind of surrounded by a bunch of garbage and storage totes and dirty laundry. But I can at least move the camera to show the tanks. My son's tank is going to sit on this tote. It's got a bunch of like blankets and stuff in it, and I was sitting on it earlier, and I'm sitting around 200 pounds myself. So right now, and the tote didn't cave in or anything. So that's where his 10 gallon's going to sit. And then this is the 45 right here.
All right.
And then that's the 29 up top. I still got to get a lid and light for that. And then down here at the bottom is my daughter's 10 gallon. And then that's the filter that we were given. It's one of those double-sided ones.
Mm-hmm.
The light bulb for that tank or for the lid has to be replaced. That's why it's sitting there on the side.
Yep.
But her tank is currently packed full of all the plastic plants, and I put a 5-pound bag of gravel in there just for something for the beneficial bacteria from the sponge filter to spread to.
Gotcha.
So that when we get the other tanks, filled and set up, we move the plastic plants and they can bring some of that bacteria as like a little jump start type thing.
Yep.
But yeah, that's the tanks. That's not where they're gonna. The way I'm set up now is not the permanent setup. My daughter's 10 gallon is gonna stay where it's currently sitting, but the other tanks are gonna go on this wall where I'm currently sitting, and then the desk is gonna go on that opposite wall where the tanks are currently sitting against, for like a better lighting thing, so that I'm not so washed out by the light here.
Yeah, yep.
Because it's probably like blinding everybody or something. But yeah, that's where I'm sitting at with that for right now.
Okay. So putting those tanks on the plastic totes, I would not recommend that long term at all. So
yeah, no, it's not.
And...
It's not a long term. It is definitely not a long term. I'm going to be going to like a secondhand store and finding a couple of end tables or something for those to get put on. They're not going to stay on the totes forever.
Okay. Yeah, because even putting them on the floor is going to be a lot safer for them than on the plastic tote.
Yeah. Yeah. No, the totes is just a temporary thing until I can get them onto something more solid.
Yeah, okay.
And I do know that, having to do a water change at that point in time and moving a partially full tank with fish, it'll be heavy, but it'll be worth doing just to make sure they don't suddenly collapse and break.
Yeah, and another thing I want to let you know, if you plan on moving the tank at all after it's filled up, drain as much of the water out as possible, because too much weight and distributing it weird on the different walls, that can also cause some issues with your silicone seals.
Okay, so get them set up and more permanent places before adding the fish. That'll be the biggest.
Right. Right. Or you could even take and net the fish out, put them in a bowl with some tank water, and
Yeah.
completely drain the water out as much as possible before you move the tank.
Okay. Um. Sorry, other half came down and was looking for something.
Gotcha.
But yeah, no, the tanks aren't gonna be a permanent on the totes. No, those are definitely gonna get their own tables or something to be a sturdy stand.
Okay, good. Yeah, I could just see it ending in failure because over time plastic does degrade and it could crack out of nowhere on you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I don't need to come down to busted tanks and.
Might I suggest kids can't be down here if they're
Yeah, no, that's true. He just said kids can't be down here with the fish tanks until they're off the totes, which is, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Because these are they're marked heavy duty totes, but better safe than sorry with putting them on a permanent table or stand or something.
I mean, even just putting them on the floor is a lot safer. I'll show you mine. I've got mine all on the floor here under the rack.
Okay. And I do have a large rug that I could probably set them up on. But yeah, I've got to do some rearranging of where they're placed before filling the other tanks. So it's right now, her tank is running right now, like I said, mainly to spread the beneficial bacteria from the cycled filter we were given to the plastic plants and to the gravel so that there's plenty of it for doing like a jump start for the other tanks. Another thing is with her tank, whenever we finally get that gift box from you, we'll be able to put all the plants into her tank and be able to keep them alive if the other ones aren't quite set up by the time it gets here.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. So having steps in place to keep the plants from you, it'll be good because I'd rather keep them alive rather than have you send them and they just die because there's nowhere to put them. I'd feel
Right.
horrible if that happened.
Yep.
Yeah,
I definitely prefer that route too.
Yeah, I mean, live plants are not cheap by any means. I mean, you go to Petco and they're charging like $6.50 for a tiny Anubias about this big.
Yeah. Yep.
And the bigger the plant you go with, the more they charge. So it's like, yeah, plants are not cheap. And if I had a whole bunch of them gifted to me that just die because I didn't put them in a tank, I would feel like the worst person in the world.
Yeah. Yep.
Especially since, it's probably just a bunch of extra plants that you're like thinning out, but at the same time, they're still not that cheap. So.
Right. Did you want to see a couple of the plants I plan to send you?
Sure.
Cool.
You can show them off and tell me about them.
All right.
Get me even more excited for the box.
Yep. Okay, so this here's my purple metallic tank, and one of them's actually out right now. Hopefully the camera will focus for you. But
Come on, camera, focus.
while I was on your stream last time, I made all those moss mounts. So I'm going to be sending one of those down to you.
Okay.
There's 10 of them in here. So
Wow.
you can see just how bushy that moss grew. That's Christmas moss on those ones.
Yeah, those grew out a lot.
Yep. And then I've got a few different types of booths. I'm not sure which type I'm going to send you yet.
Okay.
But those you're just going to glue or tie onto some wood or rock.
Okay.
They grow kind of like Anubias do, but they're much smaller.
Okay. Oh, there's another shrimp right there on the plant.
Yep. There's a couple down here. There's probably about 50 shrimp in this tank right now.
Oh, wow.
But, they all like to hide underneath there.
Well, you know, those coconut shells probably make perfect little caves.
Oh, definitely. So I'll send you one of these moss mounts as well. This one here's Taiwan moss.
Okay.
So it grows a lot different than the Christmas moss, as you can see. And I like both of them a lot. But I'd like to give you two different types of moss to play with and see which one you like better.
Okay. I'll probably like them both just because, you know.
Yep. And
everything you're going to be sending me is probably something I've never had before.
Yep. So here's some more boosts, and this one here actually has a flower right now. So that's super awesome.
Wow. That's cool.
Move over to the 20-gallon tank now. So I took out most of the stem plants that I had in here.
Okay.
I missed a couple here in the back. They're Rotala atros, so you can have all of them that I have left. There's maybe like 5 or 6 stems back there hiding.
Okay.
Come around to this side so you can see them. It's that orangish, pinkish one there.
Okay.
So you could have all of those. And then I've got some red crypt Wendetti that I've already uprooted for you. I'm just floating it in there for now, but that's going to be sent off to you.
Okay.
I wish I could zoom on StreamYard. It would make this so much easier to show you.
No, it's fine.
So I'll send that off to you, and a few other crypts I'll pull up and send to you as well.
Okay.
So maybe some of this lucens here, the one that looks like nice tall grass.
We can.
There we go. So like
Click
this one
over
here,
to
I'll probably
slow
send
mode.
down to you, and maybe a couple others as well. And I've got some cholla wood in here that already has some boosts attached to it. So
Okay.
I'll just send you some mixed boosts. So that'll be a couple different varieties all attached down to the cholla wood.
Okay.
So here's another piece of the cholla wood with some boosts on it. And there is some moss,
cool.
some mixed moss around it.
Okay. I'm going to have to figure out how I'm going to escape the tanks with all this stuff.
Yeah, it'll definitely be a lot of fun.
And Jenna P has joined us.
What's up, Jenna? How you doing?
And she's asking, is Tim really getting rid of all his Rotala?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Hands down, I don't want to do it anymore. It's just a lot of trimming involved that I don't have the time for anymore. I love the way that it looks. It's just too much for me right now.
And Stephen P is lurking.
What's up, Steven?
But yeah, that's cool. I can't wait to get the box because, once I get the box, that's going to be my next stream is opening it up.
Oh, that'll be exciting.
Yeah, you said it takes about a week to get here, and if you send it out like tonight or tomorrow morning, it'll get here before my next stream. So
It won't even take a week. What state are you in again?
North Dakota. Well,
Okay.
Minnesota now after the move.
Maybe like
So-
3 or 4 days then at the most. So it won't take long at all.
So yeah, it'll get here before my next stream.
Yep.
Yeah, you could probably wait till Thursday to ship it out and it'll still get here before next Tuesday.
Yeah, honestly, it'll be safer if I wait until about Saturday to ship it, just in case it does get held up in shipping. Because if I ship out on Saturday, it's still going to move through the postal service system over the Sunday. Where if I was to send it out and it gets stuck for a day and it would have delivered to you on Sunday, well, the post office is closed for delivery, so it'll just sit at the post
Right.
the whole day doing nothing.
Right. But yeah, I can't wait to be able to get the other tanks filled and set up and get the plants in there. It'll be so much fun being able to have the tanks up and going again.
Yeah.
The only plants that we've tried to have, I had gotten an Anubias from Aquarium Co-op that lasted forever, right up until I had to take down the tanks. So I sent that with the fish to the local shop when she took the fish for me, just so that she could have it for in like one of her tanks or resell it to a customer or something, And then I've tried having Ludwigia before, but it died on me because apparently I don't know how to keep Ludwigia alive.
Yeah, I've never tried it myself.
Yeah, we tried both the regular Ludwigia and then the red one that's got kind of a red tint to it, and both of them ended up dying on me. And then the only other one that we tried having was a jungle val plant that sat in Kaya's tank. And other than the Anubias, that was the one that lasted the longest.
Yep. Yeah,
So-
but Vallisneria is pretty easy to grow, very, very hardy.
Yeah. Yeah, no. She liked it because it looked kind of like with her tank. She said it kind of looked like seaweed in her tank.
Yep.
And so at least it lasted long enough for her to enjoy having it. So that was
Yeah,
good.
that's nice.
And the kids are super excited for the live plants to come because they can't wait to have the live plants in there and eating up the nitrates so that it's not so hard for mommy to keep the tanks balanced without something spiking.
Yeah.
But no, I'm real happy that there were nice people who had stuff for us. And then that 10-gallon lid and light came from another lady who's um she said she's gonna check through her extra stuff and see if she's got a 29-gallon lid for me too. I told her thank you in advance, and even if she doesn't end up having one, the fact that she still took the time to look for one and not only had the 10-gallon one for my daughter, it's nice when people are able to help you out, you know.
Oh, of course.
I mean, one group I had posted that I need help replacing the stuff, and the people in that group were instantly trying to send me to Amazon
Uh,
to get the replacements. And it's like, if I was just going to go to Amazon in the first place, I wouldn't have posted on Facebook that I need help replacing these lids, you know.
right.
If I had the money to spend $80 on a replacement lid for a 10-gallon tank at Amazon, I would have just gone and done that. You know.
Yeah.
But it is nice when you find people who have the extra stuff and are able to help you out.
Oh, yeah. There's still a lot of good people out there.
Yeah, and when I had gone to get the filter, I wasn't expecting him to give us the box of plants, but Kai had saw a pinkish plastic plant that she liked, and the guy told her that she could have the whole box if she wanted, and she was excited. And then going back out to the car, we walked past the 45-gallon tank sitting in his garage, and he said, "You can take that too if you want." And I'm like, I don't know if I can. I came home and I was talking to the other half, and he's like, "Yeah, you can take that." So it's like, but no, the 29-gallon had been the biggest I've ever had, and now the biggest tank I own will be going to the 45. Whether it turns into a fish tank or a reptile tank or whatever, it's still the biggest tank I own, whether it's set up or not.
Yep. That's super exciting.
Yeah. Yeah, so no, I'm real excited to finally have the tanks in the house. I don't have to worry about the cold messing with the glass or the seals anymore. I got them home and I was so scared that, you know, they'd have busted seals and they'd be leaking everywhere, or the glass would be cracked, just because they were in a storage unit that was part of an outdoor strip of units. So it's not a temperature controlled building. They were basically exposed to the changing temperatures of nature. And it's like, oh God, the fluctuating hot to cold to warm to freezing to, it's like, God,
Yeah,
please
it's,
don't get a broken tank.
yeah, it's definitely not the best for it.
Yeah. But no, now they're home, so I can stop panicking.
Yep. That's good.
Yeah. But no, next step will be getting the missing pieces I need, you know, replace the bulb, get a starter kit for the sun, and get the substrate, and just, you know, get everything set up so that we can have the fish soon.
So which one are you going to be stocking first?
The easiest one to probably stock first will be my daughter's tank with the betta.
Has she chosen a color yet?
She has not. She wants to wait till we get to the store so that she can see what's available and pick from what's available before deciding, because she doesn't want to decide on a picture of one that's on a website for a store. Then when we go to the store, they don't have it in stock and she's brokenhearted.
Right. Makes sense.
Yeah. And she doesn't want to go to any of the big stores. No, she wants to go back to the local shop and pick one of theirs. So.
Yep.
I feel like I'm raising her right. She wants to go support the local shop instead of like Petco or PetSmart.
Oh, absolutely. Usually the local shops care a little bit more anyway. So.
Yeah. Yeah, and you can usually find whatever you want at a local shop that you can find at a big box place anyway. So it's like, sure, you might pay a little bit more for local shop price, but at the same time, you're getting what you pay for. You don't have to worry about whether it's going to die within 24 hours, you know?
Right. Yep.
No, once I get the 29 gallon filled and set up, I'm going to be going for a couple of angels.
Yeah, okay.
And I've already made the decision that I'm not going to get any angels until I'm able to get a confirmed pair, because I would really like to have just a pair of angels that I don't have to worry about them, you know, being separated from the rest of the group, or I get a group of angels and then suddenly two of them are off on their own and keep the rest of them away from them. It's like, you know, I don't want to have slight aggression from a pair and not pairs, you know?
Yep. So I brought home some angelfish from the Keystone Clash last year, and one of them I had rehome to my sister's tank because they were starting to get aggressive towards each other.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so I've still got two of them downstairs, but the third one is the next town over at my sister's house.
Okay. The way footsteps echo in this house, it confuses me sometimes. I'll think someone's trying to come downstairs and they're not.
Yep.
Yeah. And schools. School is canceled for the kids tomorrow.
Oh,
Just
okay.
just got notification. Yeah, we're getting hit with a storm that is, according to the radio, the storm is supposed to give us anywhere from 6 to 20 inches of snow.
That's a wide range. Yeah, luckily it's been pretty warm here, so I don't have to worry about snow for the rest of the year, I hope.
If I could just, snap my fingers and transfer our snow and any future snow for until summer, whatever's supposed to hit us until summer, just snap my fingers and send it all to somewhere that wants it, like say somewhere in Africa that's experiencing extreme drought and needs water. Just snap my fingers, send them all the snow, let it melt. There, water is solved. Drought gone.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of snow personally.
No, between from all of the shoveling that I've had to do since the start of the winter, my sidewalk outside my front door, I step outside and the top of the snowbank next to where I've been shoveling reaches my waist.
Oh wow.
And when I'm standing up, I am 5'8". So going outside and walking down my sidewalk with the snow being the same height as, my stomach, it's like, oh dear God. Too much snow, do not need more. Sidewalks and sections of streets are already turning into floods from it melting on the warm days.
Yep.
Autism Unknown says California has gotten enough snow. Well, that's why I say send it to somewhere that wants it. Anywhere in the U.S. has probably had enough of it. Send it to somewhere that wants it, like, the desert that is experiencing an unusual extreme drought. Send the snow there and let it melt and water everything. Or maybe send it to Utah and let it melt to refill the Salt Lake.
Yep.
They live in a valley where it melted quick. Where I live, when snow melts quick and is gone fast, it tends to flood real bad.
Yeah, same here.
Mostly because I live in a town that's built right alongside a river.
Yep.
So Coro has joined us.
Hey, what's up, Cora?
I suppose I could, with people joining us now, I could show off the tanks again, I guess.
All right.
Try turn the laptop so that the camera cord has more length. I'm using a USB one since the one on my laptop is scratched to heck and back. But these are that's a 45 gallon. It's missing the top bracer, but it's a good tank. The guy said it doesn't leak or anything. And then that's my 29 gallon. Move the chair out of the way. It's the 29. And then this is the daughter's 10 gallon. All those plastic plants were donated, and then the sponge filter there. I'm still shocked that the guy, we went downstairs to where all of his tanks are in his basement, and he literally took a Ziploc bag, reached into his sump filter, and pulled out the sponge for us and gave it to us. So it's a cycled filter. He literally pulled it out of one of his tanks and gave it to us, and it's like, wow.
That was awesome.
Yeah, He said the biggest tank he currently has is a 275.
Oh wow, it's a big tank.
Yeah. Yeah. He's also got, I think he has it set up as a salt tank right now.
Okay.
He's got a bunch of coral and a couple of the clownfish in it.
Yep.
He doesn't have much in it, but at the same time, it's still pretty cool that he even has a salt tank at all.
Yeah. Yep. I've got a salt tank that I've still got to get set up.
I would love to try have a salt tank. However, my problem would probably be I would forget what ratio to mix the water and salt at. So I would either undersalt it or oversalt it and probably kill the fish.
Well, you would mix it in a bucket and test the salinity of it first.
Ah. Whew, tired. 20 minutes left in this stream. What else should we talk about? Autism says he'd oversalt it, knowing him. But no, it's gonna be fun. The kids are excited for having the tanks again, and they can't wait to get the fish. Kaya wants to be on the stream for the unboxing so that we can react to the plants together.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, she said that she wants to pick one of the plants that goes in her tank. So she might. I was telling her that you were joining me, and she goes, "Who is he again?" I'm like, "He's the guy that made the coconut shells for the fish tanks." Oh, him! I want one of the moss coconuts.
Oh, good news. She's going to get two of them.
The innocence of an 8-year-old, you know?
Yep.
Let's see. Autism Unknown says, I liked getting stowaway critters with live plants. Yeah, the last time let's see. The live plants that we got from our local shop, when we tried having the Ludwigia, it caused us to have a pest snail problem.
Oh, I invite all the pest snails personally.
Yeah, I didn't like it because suddenly my 29-gallon tank, it looked like it had chicken pox from all of the snails that were suddenly in it. Like, you looked at the front of the tank and it was like someone had taken black paint and just, you know how you do the splatter effect by tapping a paintbrush over a canvas?
Yep.
Well, that splatter effect, but snails on the front of my 29-gallon.
Gotcha.
It was bad. And the worst part was that all 4 sides of the tank were that bad with snails. And my son had wanted a pea puffer, so we got one. And the puffer basically ate himself to death because we only had him for like a week or 2 before he died. But when he died, there was not a single snail left in the tank.
Oh, wow.
So he basically had an all-you-can-eat buffet and ate his way to snail heaven, basically. You know,
Wow.
buffet heaven. That's what I told my kids for what happened, because they didn't understand why the puffer, he looked fine, was acting fine, there was nothing wrong with him, but why is he suddenly dead, Mommy? And I just told them that, well, he probably had too many snails from the buffet and he ate himself to death. He had so much fun eating all the snails that when the snails were gone, he said, "Thank you for the food. I'm done." And he went to fish heaven to have more or something. But they bought it. They accepted it. They were able to get over the death of the puffer.
Yeah, okay.
Knowing that, he was a happy fish when he died. And so being able to make them not as heartbroken about losing a fish, it's tricky, but I am happy when I'm able to help them recover from a fish loss,
Yeah, yep.
and so
Never an easy thing to talk about, especially with a child.
let's see. Cora says, well, first she's asking what's for dinner for y'all. And then she's saying oh, she's correcting autism's spelling error. Stole away instead of stowaway. That's great. I'm keeping that. Then Autism Unknown says, I got a big crawdad looking crab thing in with a plant one time. How do you miss a crawdad when bagging a plant? Those are not small. Crawdads are like twice the size of a regular shrimp.
Oh, it could have been a baby. They don't come out big, you know what I mean?
True. So used to have a trumpet snail outbreak one time. Oh God. Got a type of fish that ate snails to take care of that problem. It was a big plant.
Rena, if you don't want snails, you're definitely going to want to treat the plants that I send down to you.
Okay.
I do have pest snails in each of my tanks. I personally love them.
Okay.
So they leave behind a little bit of a slime coat on everything, and that's what my shrimp like to eat. So I personally introduce them myself into each of the tanks.
Okay. So throwing shrimp in the tanks would also be a good thing, or because my daughter recently asked me what she would be able to throw in the tank with the betta. Since I had asked the Discord group how many bettas she could have in her 10-gallon, because she wanted to try to do a sorority, and she was thinking maybe throw like 3 bettas in there. But
way too small for a sorority.
Yeah, that's what everybody was saying. So with her being told only 1 betta for the 10-gallon, she was asking me, well, what else could I put in there? And
yep. There's a few choices. You could go with like a micro rasbora or some small tetras. Shrimp are okay with the betta. The shrimp won't bother the betta, but you will find that the betta will snack on the shrimp occasionally.
Okay, so have like a hiding spot for the shrimp.
Have multiple hiding spots for the shrimp.
Okay. If you overfeed the pest... if you overfeed the pest, snails can outcompete the shrimp, which leads to bigger snails and population flows. Oh, good warning. Good morning, Coral. Oh, he's pretty.
Yeah, so I picked him up at one of the fish stores on the drive back from the Keystone Clash last year.
Wow.
And I've got him in with some neon Tetris.
Okay. Yeah, he's a pretty blue.
Yeah, I love him. When I got him, the bottom of the fins here was a lot brighter of a yellow. As he aged, it turned almost like a pinkish yellow.
Huh. That is cool.
When I first got him, he was in this next tank next to him with these yellow Neo shrimp. But I saw him eating the shrimp one too many times, and so I moved him into his own tank.
Yeah, gotta protect the shrimp.
Yep, absolutely.
My kids definitely loved the one time that we tried having shrimp. We tried cherry shrimp,
Uh-huh.
and we had them, but they ended up going missing at about the same time that the snail infestation went gone. So I'm thinking the puffer had them too.
Oh, absolutely, it did.
And I shouldn't have been like, where are my shrimp? Because when I got the shrimp, I was friends with the owner before she sold the shop to a new couple that wanted to take over. They've kept everything the same. So literally the only thing that has changed at the shop is just who owns and runs it.
Yeah, okay.
But they've kept all the same suppliers, all the same product that they sell. They've kept everything the way Nancy had it from before. But when she had given me sold me the shrimp, she had made sure to throw in 2 females that were holding eggs, so that I should have had a bunch of babies growing out. But no, I ended up losing all of the shrimp.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah. But
Move this light out of the way more so that you can see him without the glare, but I just put some food in for him.
oh, he is pretty. I love bettas. They're so pretty. Do you know what kind of betta he is?
It was sold to me as a half moon mustard gas.
Okay.
Usually the mustard gas are a lot brighter of a yellow on the fins, though.
Okay. And Cora says, kind of used to overfiltration taking care of the major issues with overfeeding. But unless you're going to gravel vac 20 minutes after feeding or something, the snails will lay 1,000,000 eggs. Oh boy. So, how do you clean plants so that there's no snails or anything on them?
You could do a few different things, but no matter what you're going to do to them to clean them, you're going to stress the plant a little bit. But you could do a peroxide dip, you could do a bleach dip, you could dip them in no planaria, which that's a little bit more expensive of a route if you don't already have that product.
Okay.
There's a few different ways that you can do it, and I'm sure if you were to post up in Fish Cord, they'll have an even better way for you. But I personally love all the snails, so I don't ever
And Cora
take any
says,
of them
do
out.
not peroxide dip Vallisneria.
But you can see snail right here, and a bunch of them here on this next tank.
Yeah,
Go back
all
over
the
to this tank, and there's one here. You got one up here. Over here, there's a couple of them.
yeah.
This next tank, I've got a few here, one here, one here. I love snails.
Okay. But yeah, that one where you showed the corner with them all kind of speckled in, that was pretty much my entire tank, like all sides of the tank were that close clustered speckle. It was like a major sudden snail infestation that I had not planned for or been expecting or anything.
Yeah. Yep. If I was downstairs, I'd show you the 75 gallon. I've got about 2,000 or so MTS snails. The
Oh,
Millennium
boy.
Trumpet snails. So they are a little bit out of hand in that tank, but
Wow.
that's all right. I'm not worried.
But no, the coming weeks and stuff, it's gonna be so much fun getting the tanks fully set up in their permanent places, getting the box of plants from you. If I have any hitchhiker shrimp, I am up here, I'm going to be like, oh my God. Now, I will go out and buy a little mini tank or something specifically to keep the shrimp alive if any of them decide to hitch a ride.
Yeah.
I don't even know if they would last the trip if it's just plants, depending on how you ship plants,
Yeah, I doubt that they would survive, but anything's possible, I guess.
Yeah.
If it'll focus, this one here is one of my best purple metallic shrimp.
Come on, camera, focus. I want to see the shrimp. What it is they're so tiny, it's hard to focus.
Yeah,
I want
plus,
to focus on the plants, not the shrimp.
yeah, StreamYard doesn't like to focus your camera anyway as you move it around.
Yeah. But no, they're pretty.
Thanks. We've got a bunch more shrimp down here.
Oh, wow. I'm guessing these are the not so pretty ones.
No, these here are crystal blacks.
Okay.
So it's not that they're not so pretty. I just only have enough room on the shelves for 6 tanks. So the other ones have to all be on the floor.
Okay.
These are the Black Galaxies.
Cora's wanting to see the King Kong shrimps.
The Yellow King Kong.
Yeah.
All right. They're up on the top rack. Let me move you guys over there without making you dizzy. There you go.
There you go, Coro.
I do have Stardust shrimp in this tank too. I don't know if they're going to come out or not, but a lot of the shrimp are hiding in the back in this tank right now. The second light up there, see if you can see them.
And Coral says she thinks these are better than the Tangerine Tigers.
Yeah, I really like them.
But it is that time for us to wrap up and end the stream for today.
Okay.
Thank you everyone for joining in the chat. Lurkers, listeners, thank you everybody. Thanks for all the replay watchers, got to give everybody their thank yous. Thank you, Tim, for joining me again.
Yeah,
This was
thank you so
awesome.
much for having me.
It's so much more fun to do a stream when you have a guest because it feels more natural, if you ask me, to have someone live chatting right back with you that you don't have to wait for, the stream to update with people's questions popping up. That slight delay between text and typing, it's hard.
Yeah, yep.
But no, I cannot wait for the box of plants to come. I'm looking forward to figuring out how to scape the tanks to make everything look pretty and be visible. But I will definitely see you all next week. All right?
All right.
Bye.
Yep. See you later, guys.